and welcome back to MoonClan. My name is Frosty, and today we are picking up where we left off from last time, going into Moon 123, at least for the clan. Frost Whisper will be 122 since he's perpetually behind. But I am now done with my finals, and so I'm able to come back here with a little bit of fresh perspective and not quite as much tiredness that led me to making some mistakes that the comments pointed out last time. I apparently tried to switch over the cats to doing a job we can't do because we don't have a mediator. So that's my bad. I think I got this mixed up with something else in my head, like in trading with outsiders. We don't really need anything too crazy here, in all honesty. So I'm gonna just do resting and recovering just for now, before we dive into our next moon. I did also see a number of comments about the mediator ship as a whole. So just to clarify, it is in the rules that we cannot appoint a mediator and we cannot appoint a medcat. The only exception to that is if we otherwise don't have enough cats to actually care for the clan in terms of medcats. That's why I've had some bouts where we don't have enough medicine cats to care for the clan. It's just because I've been trying to also allow that like vortex or gap in power to fill in naturally, at least as best as I can. And that's also just generally true because the medicine cats stepping up and then getting mates and stepping down has been a real problem. So I don't want to really lean into that problem by appointing cats and medicine cats, having them get mates and having kids, which they can't do per the challenge, and then just having them step down. So I don't want it to just be like an ever rotating door in the medicine cat den, if that makes sense. So any cat that I appoint, I want to try and have in there for the long term. That being said, I also don't want to completely limit their choices and be like, you can never have a mate or kids. Just because I think it allows a little bit more drama if the medicine cats can choose. But if there's a specific cat that we think could actually do really well in the medicine cat role and that we wouldn't foresee getting a mate or kids anyway, I don't mind toggling that. We can just say that they actually, live the full medcat life, quote unquote, the way it's intended. And again, that's just per the initial challenges of the rules. I also saw a lot of back and forth, I guess I'll say, about the mediatorship. So I cannot appoint a mediator per the rules. However, as I mentioned in a comment, we have bent and twisted some of the rules of challenges in the past. I don't think we've really bent the rules in this too much just because I've really tried to actually adhere to the intentions of the challenge just because it otherwise doesn't really feel like it should. So I've really tried to keep to that. And a mediator is not something we actually need to run the clan. That being said, I got a lot of pushback about appointing a mediator anyway. And in all honesty, outside of the clan relationships with other clans, I don't necessarily know what it'll do for us at this point. And I say this not maliciously at all. We just have so many cats with so many hated relationships that I could prioritize, keeping certain cats like Frost and his kits or his immediate family safe. I'm trying to think of how to verbalize this. I don't want to save Frost and his family at expense of other cats. If murders and drama are gonna happen, they're gonna happen. And I don't want the cats that I choose to be exempt from that necessarily. Because in all honesty, even if we got a mediator, there's every chance I just randomize the relationships and how those actually get impacted because, again, I don't want to outwardly favor Frost, even though it is his main character challenge. It's just not realistically how a clan would work, We wouldn't have one mediator whose job is to make one cat specifically the most liked cat in the clan, for example. So I'm just approaching it from that perspective, which is why I haven't really pushed the mediator front at all. But that being said, since there was such a big pushback in the last episode, I will go ahead and open it up to everybody. There will be a poll up on the channel, so go ahead and check that out. If you don't see it up yet, there's every odds I just set this to be like an hour after the video got released. And if you don't see it then mercilessly at me because something went wrong. But the cat I'd want to appoint to mediator would be Slumber Shiver because she's got the skilled heart reader trait, and I genuinely do think she'd be good in that role. So the poll is just going to be, should Slumber Shiver be mediator? Yes or no? Cast your vote, and whatever happens by the time I next record is whatever's going to win. Bear in mind, it's not going to be the full week's time between episodes because I do have to record and then edit things accordingly there. So try and cast your vote in as early as you can. Due is just going to come to first come, first serve there. And I'm genuinely not trying to ignore anybody. I'm not trying to suppress anybody. But I do want to adhere to the challenge, and I do want to do it in a way that's actually enjoyable. So if there's a rule that isn't enjoyable for anybody for any reason, then we can try and work around that, obviously. But I also don't want to just say, well, to heck with all the rules, because then what's the point of the challenge? So just keep in mind that that's the balance I'm trying to strike here. That's how I'm going to use a mediator if we appoint one. And no, I'm not going to switch that around and only change it to be adhering to Frost at another point in time. But yeah, feel free to leave comments about that too. I only invite civil and kind discourse, so please don't attack anybody for any opposing viewpoints. We're all just trying to have fun on a silly cat game, after all. Okay, very long-winded rant aside, let's go ahead and dive into Moon 123 for the clan and 122 for Frost and see what awaits us heading into summertime Greenleaf. Alright, so Amber Stripe has decided that the Elder's Den will be where they will return to should they be welcomed back into the clan. Did Amber Stripe leave? The vernacular of that is really interesting. I'm gonna have to double check on what's going on with her. But Miss Spot sits in the crowd, chest puffed out in pride as she watches Fig Paw be named Fig Burst and honored for her hard work. She considers herself lucky to have been able to train such an amazing young cat and looks forward to seeing the warrior she becomes. Radaster stands before the clan and announces that he won't be there forever and it's time he took on an apprentice. You should be the apprentice, Rat. He tells the clan that he specifically chosen Lemon Kit, now Lemon Paw, to be his new apprentice. So just like we hoped, Lemon Kit became Lemon Paw as a medicine cat apprentice there. And I'm honestly really curious to see how he grows. Unfortunately, Spruce Leaf does pass from a bee sting, which isn't really something I've seen a whole lot, but it's very possible he just had an allergic reaction. But he is mourned and is brought to his final resting place by those closest to him. Moonfern's stomach ache has left. Flipcone no longer has a running nose. Spruce Leaf passes from a bee sting. Medusa Pelt's stomachache has left. Echo Dapple fell into a river and inhaled a lot of water. She has been hacking and sputtering ever since. That's a little scary. It usually doesn't result in anything too bad, but it can easily escalate into a cough or even kill a cat, so I'm hopeful that she is quietly going to recover in a couple of moons. Plume Tooth's white cough is gone. Ivory Twist's tail was badly injured by a dog, and Warbler Tuft's brain is healed. And I don't think we actually had anything else going on there. Am I just forgetting that something happened to Amber Stripe? I don't think so. Yeah, she's still in the clan. I just genuinely thought that like I'd missed her getting exiled or like kidnapped or something with that text being how it was. But check out some of the new cats and their roles. So here we have Figburst, who was, if I recall correctly, a moon behind her brother in getting her warrior name. She is wondering how we're doing, so we'll probably talk to her in a little bit. She's obsessive and always busy. She is mentored by Mistbot, who influenced her to be more likely to be consistent, defend their beliefs, bicker with others, and follow the status quo. When she graduated, she was honored for her hard work, graduating at 11 moons old. This does feel pretty on point with what I've seen of her, especially with her rivalry and how that's nurtured with her brother Ruclove. So I think that works out pretty well for their little arc there, honestly. Let's also check out Lemon Paw, who caught the biggest mouse ever, like seriously. He grew to be meek and looks for trinkets. And that's really all the notes that we have with him there. So he's still very into his items and his little treasures, which is cute. And I can definitely see that kind of growing with him as he adopts the medicine cat. I don't want to say hoard, but they're stores of medicine stuff. And just as a note, we are still 3 cats over the 2-page limit, so the mass extinction events for now will be staying on. For the dens, just for customary check-ins here, we are still allied with all of the other clans. I think Bliss Clan has switched over to being bloodthirsty, which is a little concerning, a little bit contradictory there, but we are considered stoic by others. I really wish we could actually invite back a lot more of these cats here. Let's try searching for some of our missing cats. So I don't know if it'll help, but it sure can't hurt. The medicine cat den, I think, should be doing pretty well now. Looks like they can care for everybody. And we still have an ample surplus of prey, so we can still keep accepting cats if we so choose. Let's see how everyone's doing. Yarosar is grieving and is currently mourning Spruce Leaf. Falcon Scratch is feeling a sense of protectiveness towards the clan, ready to defend them at any moment. Radaster is eavesdropping on Figpaw. Hiccuphart is thinking about how awful kitty pet food must taste. And Lemonpaw caught the biggest mouse. We were scared by an owl last night and are too embarrassed to tell anyone. I do think the insecurity is a very interesting trait for us to have adopted, but I can really just see that getting hammered home with our failure with all of our apprentices to see them grow into mature young adults, not through any fault of our own, but just through circumstances, and immediately losing one of our kids at around the same age, so I can definitely see how that would afflict him. Lyrush is craving the taste of frog. We'll talk to her. They press their pelt into ours, purring loudly. We ask what they have to be so happy about. You're here, do I need more of a reason? You really don't. Just gotta enjoy the little things and the people you cherish while they're here. Snowleaf told the fawn story at Spruce Leaf's vigil. I honestly don't remember who he's grieving. It's been a second since I've recorded anything. Whirler Tuft wants to compliment Runttail's fighting techniques. I don't remember him having the blackberry, but just the way this is angled, it genuinely just looks like he's got a giant pacifier. Like, it's very complimentary, but it's not a good perspective. We've got a whole slew of cats that are just trying to set a good example for those younger than them. Falling Whiskers mourning Spruce Leaf. Cliffcone also told a fawn story at Spruce Leaf's vigil. Seeing Spruce Leaf was generally well liked, but not enough to cause grief. Here's Echo Dapple, who runs out of her den into battle, only to find out it was just a storm. This drives in an interesting point too, because she fell into the river to get all the water in her lungs. So like maybe she woke up from a, nightmare about the water when she heard the storm passing through, and then ran out to try and fight it, only to realize it's a storm and there's nothing she can do. We'll talk to her though. Echo Dapple and Moral Swirl race up to us, breathless from squabbling. Frostless, please tell Moral Swirl to stop picking on me. Echo Dapple's sister butts in that Echo Dapple stole a piece of prey she'd been saving. Unbelievable that they're still bickering like they did in the nursery. But a little adorable, too. Some things never change. Swanthroat saw some wandering two legs today. Moral Swirl thinks she's going crazy. We'll talk to her. You ever notice how Swanthroat doesn't say much, but when she does, it's like the smartest thing you've ever heard? I swear, she's like a StarClan cat reincarnated. She's so wise. If I had a brain like that, I wouldn't be able to stand living in this clan. Every other cat would seem so mouse-brained. Maybe that's why she's by herself so often. She just can't stand all the chatter. What was that quote I heard? Still waters run deep? It's pretty true to real life in my experience, but I don't know what that says about me. Figburst is wondering how we're doing, so I'll talk to her. Figburst is up before first light, looking bleary-eyed and absolutely miserable. I'm gonna kill Falcon Scratch. Like, actually, I'm not even joking. Looks like all of her moons of weaseling out of morning patrols have caught up to her. Amber Stripe is recounting daring expeditions for the younger cats. We'll talk to her. Rabbit-tail told me earlier that no other cat in the clan could do what I do. What do you think they meant by that? Compliment? I guess I should probably go apologize. If a cat complimented me and they ran away crying, I'd probably be confused. Moonford is marveling at how quickly kids grow and change each day. We'll talk to her. Hey, you'll never guess what Weaselry did. They took me out to the secret spot in territory and we spent the whole night out there just talking and laughing together. StarClan, isn't Weaselry great? They're just so beautiful and funny and smart, and did I mention beautiful? Plus brave, kind, courageous, and I swear StarClan, if we have to hear Moonfern talk about how much they love their mate anymore, we might just be driven insane. I'm just glad that they found each other, even if it took them 120 moons to do it. And Charred Rumble is missing their own nest. Alright, I know the interactions were a little bit haphazard there, but I'm going to try and hit the opposite side of the family next moon. So we're going to dive into patrols and just see what's going on with that. The deputy is forming a border patrol. We'll volunteer. We don't have a whole lot of warrior days ahead of us. We volunteer and follow Falcon Scratch, Ravensong, and Snowleaf to the edge of the territory. The patrol is derailed when we notice the scent of dog crossing the border. Aware of our proficiency with tracking, Falcon Scratch tells Ravensong and Snowleaf to finish the patrol while we track the dog with them. You successfully follow the scent trail through the territory until, to your relief, it crosses back over the border. Our clanmates are grateful that we took the effort to make sure the territory was safe. I'm glad we were able to offer our expertise there, but I don't really foresee Frost as being the best tracker either, I'll be honest. Radasser brings Lemon Paw along to gather some blackberry leaves. With Lemon Paw following them, Radasser tends to pick their way through the blackberry thorns to reach leaves, but it becomes clear it's a hopeless task, and we don't get anything at all. Hiccupart is similarly unsuccessful. They only gather diseased-looking leaves from an elder tree. And we don't have any apprentices, so I guess we'll just do a bunch of random patrols. We're on the first patrol, and we come across a small dog on the border, right on the edge of the border. All of our attempts to drive it off only send into greater and greater fits of excitement, until the only thing we can do is wait exasperatedly in a safe spot until it calms down. Not the best thing ever, but at least it doesn't do any damage. Our first hunting mission brings back a medium amount of prey. Ooh, interesting. We find a loner who offers their healing skills in exchange for shelter. As we've proven time and time again, we can never have enough healers. I don't know if they'll actually want to join. This is usually the hardest cats to recruit. The new medicine cat is welcomed into the clan. Privet Tooth joined the clan, and our reputation towards outsiders improves. Ooh, interesting. So here's Privet Tooth. She's a senior adult female with gold eyes named Mackerel Pelt. Mostly white, but with some interesting brown spots with patterns on them. She's gloomy, a good speaker, and grazes fish. I'm assuming that's a fishing trait, but I don't really know how one can graze fish. She wandered the world, aimless and free, but always alone. She joined the clan on Moon 123 at the age of 99 moons. What an auspicious number. It's always weird to see a cat that's coming in as a senior doll and being like, wow, she's a lot older, and then realizing we're older than her. But I think she'll be a good addition, all the same. Maybe not the most experience ever, but something is something. And she gathers wild garlic, even though it's a little bit stinky. One of our next patrols also finds a kitty pet interested in joining the clan. We don't have to do much convincing. The cat is happy to join the clan. Their name is Turbo. So here's Turbo. He's looking around the camp with wonder. He's shameless but an excellent teacher. He's an adult male with gray eyes and a white rosette pelt. He has a cyan nylon collar. Try saying that 10 times fast. He is formerly a kitty pet, but was forced to leave his household after his home burned down. Oh, that's sad. He is 75 moons old, and he's actually got a fair bit of experience for his age. Oh no. Also, sorry if you guys heard the plow that just went by. So our patrol encounters a clearing where a lot of two legs linger. It's Medusa Pelt, Liar Rush, Slumber Shiver, and Stag Bellow on the patrol. We do have a bold cat, so we're gonna be forced to proceed here. Fingers crossed. We continue hunting undetected. We only get a small amount to prey. It is never worth it. Our final mission finds a sick rabbit. With this particular setup of cats, I don't think we need to proceed and risk getting sick. So that's gonna be it for that moon and their patrols. Let's go ahead and dive right on into the next moon, 124 for the clan. Privet Tooth announces that she is expecting kids. Pregnancy sucks. She gives in and moves into the nursery. Well, it was sure nice having another medicine cat for all of the half of a moon that we had her. I honestly have a sneaking suspicion that she probably only joined to, possibly give her expecting kids a better life and use a little bit of her prior knowledge to help, get her that ticket in. Moonfern has gotten fleas. Hiccup Heart no longer has a running nose, and Turbo has gotten fleas. This actually isn't too bad. Knocking on wood lightly there. Just because I'm accustomed to so much worse in summertime, and it's probably just a resting and relaxing trait we have on. Fleas can still be a bit of an outbreak, but it's not a death sentence that I've seen anyway. Queso Storm strides into camp, much to everyone's surprise. He's home. But despite a long search, Storm Sky could not be found. Hey, I'll still take that as a win, honestly. We'll keep trying to find people at random here that are, worth finding. And while on border patrol, we come across a peculiar scent that we can't quite identify. We make a mental note to report it to Falcon Scratch. I'm so glad that Queso made it back, though. Where's he at? Here he is. He feels like a frog on log in a bog. So gloomy dormouse and fish catcher, but I'm happy he is back. Privet Tooth was given a sharp fin to her face from a failed hunt. Yeah, I think you're just gonna end up being a good warrior to hunt fish. I really do wonder who the other parent of the kits is gonna be, though. I'd be really surprised if it's actually somebody from the clan. But Yarosar is basking in the sun at the medicine den entrance. Falcon Scratch is assessing the clan's physical strength and readiness for potential threats. Red asters and reflecting on how different his life is now. That's really no surprise. He's gone from, kitty pet to warrior to medicine cat. It's quite a progression there. Hiccupheart is planning to go out and gather herbs today. And Lemon Paw is patching up a clanmate's wound. Not too bad for a brand new apprentice. We want to get to know Weaselreed better. I think Weaselreed is still under the weather, so we'll just talk to him. Yeah, he's still grieving, but Weaselreed is wondering how Turbo's doing. I'm sorry, Frost. Can I ask that you leave me alone for a while? Aw. I guess we can. It's the fair thing to ask. But sometimes you don't need to be alone when you're like that. Myrush is cheering the loudest of any cat at naming ceremonies, which is just so cute. Snowleaf is feeling silly. I'm so glad that the cat who murdered our child is feeling silly. Let's talk to Queso Storm though. We are pretty good friends with him and it's good to see him back. They glower off into the distance, seemingly deep in thought. Clearly he doesn't want to chat right now and we decide to leave it. Makes you wonder what exactly he saw out there. Swanthroat saw a Tule kit playing with a dog. They accidentally slip while walking across camp. Without missing a beat, she catches herself, spins on her paws, and resumes walking with a flick of her tail. How does she even manage to make falling look cool? I just have such a high picture of Swanthroat in my mind, the most graceful, poised, intelligent cat ever. And I think everybody else kind of sees her in the same way. I really would like to see if anybody has any romantic vesture here. It's okay if nobody does, but I'd like to see some younger love happening than what we have been. Alright, nothing for the sisters as far as I can see. Maybe somebody will correct me there, though. Burnpath is wondering if she'd be a good swimmer, though. Did we see Twighair all covered in grass? We were on a patrol and they saw a field that was begging them to roll around in it or something like that. They looked absolutely ridiculous, but they seemed to enjoy it, so good for them, I guess. It's not about appearances, it's about how things make you feel. Speaking of Twighair, they're building a nest underground. For being strange and a good tunneler, I have a distinct feeling that she just does not care how she's regarded or necessarily how dirty she gets. Oh, here's Ruclove, a bit more grown up. Kind of forgot that that was going to happen this moon. Pretty much exactly what I expected. I do kind of like the little stripe going over his head. I think it's a really interesting contrast there. Then here's Figburst, who is a bit more uniform in color and marking, but very, very pretty. Milky isn't ashamed of her past. I did hear from somebody that 200 moons is the max a cat can be, and I'll have to see if I can find a screenshot of it. But I once had a cat that was, I kid you not, 300 moons old that I rescued from everything. The cat was over 20 years old. So yeah, I don't know what the actual upper limit for ages in ClanGen or LifeGen. I don't know if they actually cap things off. It's not like that 300-year-old cat lived, or 300-moon-old cat lived very long. But I have seen cats exceed 200 moons kind of easily in the past, so I'm just curious to see exactly how far they can go, but it's not like I'm wishing anything to happen to Milky anytime soon. Alright, but with that, let's go ahead and do patrols. We notice an unfamiliar scent on the clan's borders. It's our responsibility to investigate and ensure the clan's safety. That lines pretty well with the moon event, too. We successfully track the scent to a lost loner and guide them away from our territory. We return to our duties, satisfied with our vigilance. A lot of tracking this moon. I do think we'll go on a little date with Lyre. You and Lyre take a walk through the forest at night, the soft croaking of frogs seeming to ring out to the beat of our paw steps. We spot a long field of grass and remember something someone taught us when we were just a kid. We turn to the Lyre, wanting to ask him something. You ask if they'd like to run through the field. Confused, they refuse and tell you to get back to patrolling. Oh, it's Greenleaf. I was thinking suspicion that this event could have ended in fireflies and a majestic sight, but instead we just missed out. Gotta be a bit more explicit with what you want sometimes, Frost. Aw, this artwork is so cute, but they're heading out to find catmint. And they do actually find some. Hiccup Heart suns himself, and it feels so good he falls asleep and does not actually wake up in time to gather herbs. Long nap. And we're just gonna do more random patrols. If we get extra training, then cool. If we get hunting, we don't necessarily need it. As long as we get one border mission, we'll be good. And funny enough, our first one is a border mission, so we're good. We're checking the border lines when we find a Goose Clan sent to straight into the territory. This is suspicious, but they are our ally. We decide to follow the scent, but only end up walking in circles. The trespasser is good at concealing their trail, or the patrol just needs to work on their tracking skills. Doesn't matter now, the whole day is wasted. Mistbot decides they should just return to camp and report the strange scent, worsening relationships with Goose Clan. Our patrol devolves into ghost stories, everyone on edge. A branch snaps and the whole patrol runs back to camp. Later, an argument breaks out over what caused the noise. It's funny how innocent everything seems until you start telling ghost stories, and then every little bit seems to matter. Oh, this artwork is so sad. The patrol comes across a Goose Clan apprentice waiting quietly at the border. The apprentice notices the patrol, they press themselves to the ground, begging to join MoonClan. We can appease Goose Clan later. They killed one of our cats when we were trying to save their kit, so... Poppy Eye is eager to steal Goose Clan's apprentice right out from under their noses. They sit close to the apprentice on their way back to camp. First, the clan is unsure, but Poppy Eye vouches for Robinpaw and she's allowed to join the clan. Robinpaw joins the clan, worsening relationships with Goose Clan. I actually would kind of like to think that Robinpaw is the cat that we saved as a kit, now a little bit more grown up. I don't know what is going on in Goose Clan that could have caused that, but I think it kind of brings stuff around full circle. But here's Robinpaw looking around camp with wonder. She is an adolescent female with hazel eyes and a single striped gray and white pelt. She is 10 moons old. Her mentor is Rabbit Tail. She's flexible and bats at rivers. She's almost done with her training, actually. And for her backstory, it says she was unhappy in her old clan and decided to come here instead. Alright. Don't need to ask any more questions or pry there. We'll just have Falcon Scratch take her out on a training mission, I think. Falcon Scratch takes her out to gather moss. And Falcon Scratch notices Robinpaw's eyes flitting about. Taking more paws on approach, they show Robinpaw the strength they gained from gathering the moss and the control they learned from not shredding it. Robinpaw seems awed and impressed as moss was gathered. Honestly, Goose Clan's lost, then. Swanthroat finds an abandoned kit whose parents are nowhere to be found. We gotta save the kit. Swanthroat rushes the kit back to camp. The kit is nursed back to health and promised a place in the clan. Edelweiss Kit joined the clan and proved our relationship to outsiders still. But here's Edelweiss Kit, a young female with gold eyes and a speckled black pelt. She's 5 moons old, so old enough to be pretty self-sufficient in terms of kithood. She's an attention seeker with active imagination. A lot of young ones this go. And then our final patrol just fights off a trespassing rogue. Alright, we'll just go ahead and dive on into the last time skip of the episode. We should see a couple more things happening this go than last. So let's see what awaits. Okay, something happened to Frost. I won't lie, I don't actually know what it is. So we're just gonna hope it's something good, not something in that third tab there. But Robinpaw sits in front of the leader, tail twitching back and forth as she awaits her warrior name. She's eager for this ceremony to be done so she can go back to work and make sure the clan is safe. Finally, Yarosar looks down upon her and names her Robin Shade after her fortitude. Eldevice Paw can't believe her apprenticeship is finally here. Nearly tripping over her own paws, she scurries up to Shaded Antler, excitedly touching noses with them. On a whole other note, Shaded Antler I think will be a great mentor. Icy Fin brought a litter of 3 kids back to camp but refused to talk about their origin. And Privatooth hopes the litter will be small. She feels overwhelmed at the idea of a big one. Icy Fin, you were supposed to be the chosen one. Okay, we'll have to take a look at that situation in a bit. We don't have enough healthy medicine cats. We did have a pretty big boom just now. We've gotten heat exhaustion. Moonfern is free of fleas. Weaselroy tells himself they can't let their feelings consume them, instead learning to live with it. Yarosar gazes up into Silverpelt and finds that the grief has begun to lessen, as has Chardrumble. Lemonpaw drags Hillpetal into the medicine cat den to apply an herbal salve, despite Hillpetal's protests. He's begun to smell infection in the tail stump. Good Lemonpaw, good apprentice. Sagbellow has gotten fleas. Fishblink no longer has a running nose. Is it weird that I'd almost prefer heat exhaustion over grief? Despite a long search, Needledew could not be found. Eldevice Paw seems to be having a very hard time lately. You extend some kindness to her, and she's soon bouncing back thanks to you. You look to the night sky one evening and wonder if the darkness is a dark force influence. A clan meeting has our attention. Danger in a territory means everyone should be on high alert this moon. Oof, hopefully all is well there. Once again, we're gonna try and extend out some feelers there. Still have a lot of prey. And we'll change our focus for the next moon back to herb gathering. I just think that's the smartest thing to do. Alright, so here is one of the kits. I'm just gonna go ahead and change this name outright because it's already taken. We already have a chive. Ooh, that's cute. So first here we have Mulberry Kit, a newborn female with amber eyes and a single color orange pelt. She is polite. Mulberry Kit was born outside the clan but came to live in the clan with her parents at a young age. Born on Moon 125 during Greenleaf. So, yeah, one of Icy Fin's kits. We'll have to roll for him. Oh, that's so cute too. Okay, so the next one shall be named Pumpkin Kit. A newborn female with pale blue eyes and a smoke orange pelt. She is insecure. And then finally we have Quiet Kit, a newborn male with pale blue eyes and a speckled orange pelt. He is patient. Okay, Icy Fin, I don't think you're sneaky. You're sincere. If anything, that should put you at disadvantage. What does Yarosar think of Icy Fin? Pretty good. Nothing green, though. Let's just see how this rolls. So, evens, Icy will be safe. Odds, Icy will be out. Alright, I got a 6. That's even, so Icy will be safe. Again, if anything, I feel like that should have been at disadvantage for being sincere. But I won't complain, because I do genuinely like Icy, and I'd like to see him not get exiled. Where is... Oh, he's got a lot of feelings for Rabbit-tail. Is that returned at all? Because I think that could be cute. They do like each other. Rabbit-tail. It'd be a completely neutral thing, but we need some more positivity here, so we'll try them out. Is there anybody else that I feel like should have a shot? Ooh, Falcon Scratch actually really liked Icy Fin too. And Sky Scratch. Ooh, and they're compatible. I'm okay with a trio. You're messing cats, you're exempt, sorry. I kind of make the rules, but not like that. I still can't believe about all this affection we have for Snowleaf. If anything, he's lost a lot of affection for us. But where did it all go so wrong? Alright, that's enough getting distracted for now for me. Let's check out Robin Shade. She tears up her fresh kill far too violently for others' liking. She's fierce and a fish catcher. She is mentored by Rabbitail, who influenced her to be more likely to bend the rules and try to avoid violence. She became better at fishing with Rabbitail. When she graduated, she was honored for her fortitude. Then here's Eldevice Paul, now a little bit more grown up. She's become flamboyant with an active imagination, which is lovely as a combination. And we'll just have to see how that grows. I almost went to see what her traits are and how they evolved. The Yara Star is shattering at the birds in the trees above. Falcon Scratch is assigning cats to patrol the borders. Radasser is checking up on the warriors. Hiccup Heart saw some wandering two legs today. Lemon Paw is feeling lazy. We're feeling sassy today despite being sick. Weaselreed sits quietly observing clan dynamics with a knowing gaze. Ravensong saw a Thule Kit playing with a dog. Nyrush is feeling a sense of dread. I hope that means nothing. Moral Swirl is playing a prank on us. We'll talk to her. We know she's practically doubled over in laughter after a short conversation with Snowleaf. Oh, that just feels insidious. Oh my Star Clan, we need to put Snowleaf on lockdown. They were telling me that Robin Shade talks way too much. Robin Shade was right there. And the best part, when Robin Shade made herself known, Snowleaf didn't even care. Just repeated himself even louder with a straight face. It seems as though the memory itself sparks another laughing fit in Moral Swirl. Only herself would find such a thing hilarious. Yeah, I don't think that's something you should laugh about. If anything, that's just a lot of red flags. Where's Red Flag Guy? Alright, and that's about it for the clan, so we'll jump into our last patrols. Now, we're too sick for LifeGen patrol, so it's just gonna be regular patrol for this last go. Radasser and Lemon Paw gather burdock, but Hiccup Heart only finds trampled plants, so he does not bring anything back. Shade Antler takes Eldevice Paw out. They want to hold a training session. They decide to focus on tree climbing. Eldevice Paw listens carefully as the proper techniques of tree climbing are explained. Ooh, Poppy Eye sent to eat the prey they just caught. I have a feeling they're gonna do it, so let's see what happens. But they resist the temptation, going on to make a couple of great catches. Not this again. Okay, luckily we don't have the bold cats with us, so we're not proceeding. Especially not with Lyrush and Burn Path right there. Our hunting patrol catches 2 squirrels. As our next patrol is checking the border lines, they hear the traits of Paw sets through the territory. We follow the sound, ready to confront the intruder. We come across a large kitty pet sniffing around. They begin to approach, but the kitty pet immediately turns on them. Warbler Tuft doesn't have enough time to move as the kitty pet launches a quick attack. Runtail bats the kitty pet away and helps Warbler Tuft back to camp. We've met Lemmy. Warbler Tuft got a mangled tail. Ow. Imagine losing in a 4-on-1 fight. There's a lot of cats outside the clan now. Where's Lemmy? Aw, you got your butt handed to you by a senior adult cat in a magenta harness. Aw, that's cute though. Rip our warriors though. Alright, our final patrol has Rabbitail trailing behind the rest of the patrol. They look around wildly just as the world is blotted out by a tangle of heavy falling branches. Again, terrifying artwork. Creeping in as close as possible, Scratchfoot purrs Rabbitail, keeping them calm as the patrol carefully works to remove the branches pinning them down. Rabbitail blinks up at her, holding on to her presence in this scary situation. Aw, that's really sweet though. I'm glad that Scratchfoot was able to keep a level head in the midst of chaos there. And that's all of our patrols. So that's where we'll go ahead and leave it off for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, feel free to leave a comment about your thoughts on the whole mediator position, or if there's any other rules or guidelines you want us to rethink or explore alternatives to. I am totally down to hear. Like I said, I only want to pursue a series if it's actually enjoyable for everybody. So just bear that in mind. But I'm going to try and actually keep the spirit of the challenge alive, even if we do bend some of the rules a bit. So let me know your thoughts. Keep an eye out for the poll. I hopefully won't have forgotten to set it, but if I do, just let me know. Again, please try and keep comments civil. There's no need to argue over a cat game. It's just not necessary. But until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay happy. We'll see you all then, and bye.